We are on our way to the 2024 SEMA Show with our 1970 Dodge Superbee, and we are competing in Optima Search for the Ultimate Streetcar Invitational. We made a few pit stops along the way at Knoll Automotive, and we also stopped to visit a few other friends. We also were able to travel with the guys from Dutch Boys Hot Rods, who are bringing an amazing Buick Grand National to the show. We made a pit stop at Speed Tech Performance. They're going to be part of our racing program next year, so please keep up with us on that. We also made a quick pit stop at the Valley of Fire to go walk around a canyon for a little bit. During our route from Indiana to Las Vegas, we saw hot, we saw cold, we saw snow, and we saw rain. Although we didn't have any breakdowns on the way there, unlike a lot of other people. After we got to Las Vegas, we unloaded the car and drove around on the main strip a little bit so we can get some good pictures under the lights. The following day, we went ahead and got the car washed up and detailed before we entered the SEMA Show. We entered the SEMA Show early in the morning with the rest of our class. We went ahead and got the tech done on our car, which was the first segment of our design and engineering portion of Optima Search for the Ultimate Streetcar. We went ahead and stickered the car up and got to walk around a little sneak peek of the show as they were still setting up. This thing is really, really cool. Wish I could see in it. At the end of day one, we went and hung back out at the hotel. We stayed at the Palazzo, which is right across the street from SEMA and Apex, and we also had a perfect view of the Spear. The next day, we showed back up at the show and did a walk around of the event to see all the booths and cool cars. This is really cool. Tremec came out with this all-electric system. So they got their battery packs and stuff like that. And this is a gigantic motor, basically. And they customized this one to work with four-wheel drive. This is on a Jeep chassis. So this is pretty cool. Mike Colpin helped build this car. It's a 57 Chevy Bel Air with a supercharged Gen 3 Hemi running on hydrogen. So here's a sneak peek as to what we are doing with Speed Tech next year. This is the front Extreme kit that also has QA1 mod shocks on the front of it, and we can have unbelievable amount of adjustment with this. It's going to be really exciting to put it on the front of the car. After this kit is installed, we'll be able to have a 335 tire on the front of the Superbee. QA1 just acquired Speed Tech Performance, and just before the show, they also announced that the new purchase of Detroit Speed. This custom 68 Dodge Charger actually was the winner of Battle of the Builders. It was one out of 175 cars registered. One of the really cool things about this car is that it still had the big block Mopar inside of it. Now as we walk through Central Hall, this is where all the big name companies are for performance and restoration. You'll see the best cars in this building. Chad Reynolds from bangshift.com was in the Holly booth going over the new Holly Sniper stuff. There are places like this all around, people talking about products.
Right? Like, that's the win of all time. You want the thing to fire up. I can tell you that the very first time I did a Holly EFI install was on a car that had a Holly HP box in it. It was a Terminator stealth throttle body install with the little 3.5-inch handheld. We did it in my shop at home, and when we hit the key the first time, it fired up so fast, it scared me.
The Ring brothers bought this really cool and really custom CUDA in. It was an amazingly built car. It was FM3 pink, at least I'm assuming it was. And a little ways down the aisle was the Dutch Boys Hot Rod Shop. If you remember, they traveled with us. They brought a Buick Grand National into the show, and they actually won top 40 with their build. And it is one of the best Grand Nationals Pro Touring type cars I've ever seen. They took all the plastic and they turned it into metal, and they lowered it, they chopped the fenders, and it had the best black paint job. We stopped in to see our friends over at Classic Industry and OER. They helped us out by getting us 70 Coronet grill inserts for the Superbee, just that way it looked that much better for the SEMA Show. I do have a video showing the install on those grill inserts. They were really, really good. They fit perfectly. Definitely go check out that video. One of the cars that got a lot of attention was sitting in the Ace's fuel injection booth. This was the Daytona that was in the Joe Dirt movie. didn't know, Blueprint Engines is now selling Gen 3 Hemis, an NA version and a supercharged version. They had both of these engines on display. With there being construction in the parking lot, there was actually not as many cars out front, so this actually was able to show the actual good builds and not so many of the incomplete builds. Now, there still was quite a few that was there, but not as bad as usual. Mopar was there, and I got to meet a couple of the direct connection guys. They had a few cars on display. One of the really cool cars was a 67 GTX with an electric car conversion. I know how a lot of people don't like the electric car, but this was actually a relatively cool kit that's basically a crate swap. After we were done with the trade show, we were ready for racing for the rest of the week, so we headed out back to the bronze lot to watch us do the Speed Stop Challenge, and then we finished off at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. For Speed Stop, basically two cars drag race down to the end of the parking lot and come back. Then they have to stop inside of that little box, and whoever can do it the fastest on both sides wins. This was actually my favorite part because I got to meet a lot of my followers. So thank you all you people who stopped by and said hi and checked out the car. Also, I got to show off what the parts could do on this car. A big old B-body Mopar keeping up with these Camaros.
David out of Indiana, Elkhart, Indiana. It's a 1970 Superbee, but it has a Gen 3 Hemi, 8-speed transmission, 485 horsepower, 3,750 pounds, and it runs some of the smaller tires here in the Ultimate Streetcar Invitational. 275 series Goodyears. Really get the safety gear strapped on. I have no information on the retro car that Tanner's driving, other than it's fast, and Tanner is an exceptional driver. It is really fast. I don't think I'd be super shocked.
This was a really cool moment. For the final Speed Stop Challenge, I had the privilege to race Tanner Faust, a pro driver.
82 miles an hour down that front stretch. looking flashy. What's he get? 13.5. Wow. Right off the bat. So 3/10 of a second faster than Sobe on his first run.
Okay, last day of SEMA. We're just chilling at the car. Today we do the road rally. Then tomorrow we will do the road course and autocross at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Rolling to the speedway, sitting behind Bob Sobe. So we are all checked in at the racetrack, dropping the truck and trailer off here for the night. This is where it'll be permanent for the rest of the weekend. We are on our way to the racetrack. We drove our car to the hotel last night. All ready to go. I'm gonna go walk the autocross. See the mountains back there. After we completed our orientation laps, we moved directly into the autocross, which was an entirely different experience. Did our orientation lap. All went smooth. Did our first run of autocross. Unfortunately, my GoPro footage is it's good, but the battery's dead on my GoPros, so I don't know how much good GoPro footage I'm going to get. But we'll have Miss Liz do some video recording with my phone. Alright guys, so we were having a spark knocking problem. I thought I had it all fixed up and taken care of back at home, but maybe with the different atmosphere out here, it's spark knocking, so it's not letting me go full throttle again. So friends out here, everybody, this series is the best series because everyone came out to give me a helping hand to try and give me some octane booster or race gas to see if we can't resolve the problem for the day. So thank you everybody. So I've never used this stuff before. I've never used an octane booster, so this will be a interesting test. So the octane booster worked phenomenally. We were able to just do an entire session full throttle, and it was awesome. It was so fast. It's pretty cool. Setting up for the OUSCI photo.
Or 440,
Okay, that is it. Heading home. Award ceremony is over with. Now the long drive back to Indiana. On the way home, we went down the Route 66 route and got to still see a little bit of mountains, and we stopped at a few sights to see. Liz is driving. We switched drivers. I just got done with a little nap, and I believe that's Ryan Matthews hanging out back there behind us. So we're coming up on Tulsa, I believe. Quick update, we're in Oklahoma, gassing up. I think we have 13 hours left to go. Okay, one more gas up, 9 hours to go. Well, boo, got a flat tire. Alright, so we are broke down for the night. We're 8 hours away yet. We were at Marshall's Chevrolet, just so happens to be driving a GMC when this happened, so we lost a wheel, a tire, and a couple other little things. We didn't lose them, they went flat and had a couple other problems along the lines of that. So we're gonna drive the Superbee to a local hotel and try and get back here in the morning. I wish I could park this in a better spot, but that's kind of where it stopped. So, yep. Well, that didn't work out so well. The Superbee's back on the trailer. The rod was hammering a little harder than I cared to attempt, so we put it back in the trailer and we're just gonna Uber. So, we walked to a really close hotel, right over there, and the dealership is over there. We come to the hotel, come to find out the hotel has bed bugs, so we're walking back to the truck to sleep in the truck until the dealership opens in the morning. Morning, everybody. We just slept overnight in the truck in this dealership's parking lot. They just opened up. We just ordered some parts. They've been really helpful. Ordered some parts, and they should be here in just a little bit. So we'll get the truck fixed up and get back on the road. It's really funny. The manager here actually follows Ultimate Streetcar Racing, so he was all over the car. It's pretty cool. So. Okay, we have the spare tire on the truck. All the other stuff's fixed. Thank you to the guys at Marshfield Chevrolet. They were super helpful getting me parts and letting me use their facility. So, thank you guys. On the road again. I saw this place on TikTok, so we had to stop. Uranus Fudge Factory. Update. Stopped for a real rest. Spare tire's holding up good. We're getting close to Indiana. So that we're going to reroute and we're going to stop at St. Elmo's place and get a shrimp cocktail. Okay, update. We are stopping in Indy for some food. We're going to St. Elmo's place. Okay, we are home from SEMA Show. We'll go ahead and start unpacking, unloading the car.